This is a RuneScape-based Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. It is intended for mature audiences. A small disclaimer, volumes may slightly alter here and there due to recording issues. These issues have been addressed for future recordings. Please enjoy. Welcome to 99 Dnding, everybody. This is an actual play podcast of Dungeons & Dragons that is taking place in the world of Gielinor, also known as RuneScape, or more specifically, Old School RuneScape. My name is Derek. I will be the Dungeon Master for a party of 6 individuals, which I'll introduce in a minute. I have played D&D for roughly 5 years, mostly as a DM, but have been a player as well. And I've played RuneScape for the better part of 20 years. It's been my main game pretty much my whole life, and I currently play the old school version now. This campaign is going to be heavily influenced by RuneScape, but played within the rules of Dungeons & Dragons. We're not rule sticklers. I'll do my best to follow the game rules while making decisions I feel will be the most fair and fun for everybody. I'll also be doing my best to integrate RuneScape skills, spells, items, all those kind of things into the D&D rule set. You'll see a mixture of D&D and RuneScape art, characters, and maps, mostly pulled from the game itself. Non-player characters are created by Jagex for the most part. A lot of the mapping and music as well. I will also be pulling things off the internet and do my best to give proper credit to those that have created those materials. However, what you hear is almost entirely original storyline. I will be loosely following RuneScape storylines, so some of it may sound familiar. However, the story the players are telling is completely unscripted and improvised on the spot. Recording and editing is a completely new thing to me. I'm doing my best to learn as we go. The quality of releases will only get better as we go on. But the main goal is to just tell a story of a game we are going to play anyway, and hope you guys enjoy it. With that, we will get into introducing the players. Let's start with Peach. What is your D&D and RuneScape experience? Who and what will you be playing in this campaign?
I am Peach, maybe 6 months. I can't really remember much of the game, and I am going to be playing a barbarian dwarf.
Awesome. Yeah, we started together way back in the day, 18, 19 years ago on RuneScape Classic. So, yeah, no, you've been doing great in D&D as well. Don't worry about that at all. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then we have Moose.
Hey, my name's Moose. This is the third campaign I've done in D&D. Been playing with Peach and Derek the whole time. They have, so 4 or 5 years. I have zero experience with RuneScape other than what I hear, because I tried getting out of Tutorial Island, couldn't do it, pissed me off, never picked it up again. So, I don't know anything about RuneScape, but we're going to find out a lot, I'm sure. And my character is a halfling rogue.
Awesome. How about you, Storm?
My name is Storm. Yes, that's my given name.
Storm, I gotta stop you. You have so far the most normal name. Hi, my name's Peach. Hi, my name is Moose. All right, go ahead, sorry.
But everybody's hears mine and they go, "What the?" I've collectively been playing RuneScape 5 years, smashed together.
A lot of start and stops in there.
Oh yeah, a lot of starts and stops. I've been playing with pretty much everybody here when they first got into D&D, about 5 years. And I'm playing a gnome ranger named Yosem.
Okay. Harley.
Harley, I have never heard of RuneScape before this game, so I know nothing about it. And I've been playing D&D only for a couple of years and only on one campaign. So this is my first time playing a character who has any kind of spell casting. So I'm going to be learning that as I go. And my character's name is Solana, and she's a wood elf druid.
You will do just fine with the spell casting. I have tons of faith. Then
So does Solana.
Yeah. Then there is Jake.
So my name's Jake. I absolutely know nothing about RuneScape except you run around and mill money. I think that was a big part of it. And maybe some other stuff, but I'm excited to learn about it. I've been doing D&D for a few years, and I am playing a cleric named Lug Riversong.
Okay. And to cap off the introductions, we have Corey.
I'm Corey. I have been playing D&D for, I don't know, just maybe like a week longer than Derek has.
All right.
Yep, I've been playing RuneScape for like maybe a week longer than Derek has. I think I've been playing for. No, I've never ever played RuneScape. I have no frame of reference for the game. I have nothing. I don't even. I'm going to pronounce everything wrong, and I apologize for that in advance. But this is every single thing is going to be brand new to me. But just like to get started, I'm playing a halfling wizard named Fazora.
Awesome. Thank you, party. Now that we've met everybody, let's begin leveling the skill of D&D. Lumbridge is a small town, known to be a working town, a small stop between the larger cities in Gielinor and on the edge of the vast Elkarid Desert to the east. Several houses dot the area. There's a small chapel with an attached graveyard, a blacksmith shop, a general store, and a small tavern. There's a small forest to the west and farms to the north. To the south is a simple swampland. A small bridge crosses a river known as the River Lum, which gives the town its name. The bridge leads to the gates of the Elkarid Desert, currently ruled by Prince Ali. Following the road as it turns north on the east side of the river, the lands become less protected. Goblins look to harass those traveling along to the great city of Varrock. Those that travel do so in caravans or protected by adventurers. Along the road are fields and pastures with roads diverting in several directions, most prominently to the large city of Varrock. Today is going to be a great day. Just above a chill in the air, yet sunny, the bustle of the town can already be heard. This is the Duke of Lumbridge's birthday week, which means folk from all across the continent will be coming to celebrate and discuss politics. Decisions are made during these get-togethers that have the potential to change the course of history. It is a rare event, and everyone in the town does their part to prepare. In the small but quaint kitchen, a very anxious-looking cook bustles about, mixing ingredients and prepping food. A young human man in brown robes sits on a stool kneading bread dough. Across the table, leaning back on two of the four legs of a chair, reading one of the posters made for the event in one hand, and fiddling with an icon around his neck with the other. A large-eyed and large-eared gnome sits. Lugra, if you wouldn't mind describing what you look like.
Yes, Roth is a human variant, very bald. He's adorned in azure and ivory cleric robes with markings of Saradomin. Upon his neck, he believes he wears a powerful pennant. He carries a calligrapher's pack on his back, along with a hand-wheeled quarterstaff. Upon his side is a sack of herbs, as he likes to study herbalore in his free time.
Awesome. And then Yoshim, if you wouldn't mind describing what you look like, please.
You see a small, pale-skinned individual with pointy ears, brown hair with white tips on the ends, wearing wooden glasses that make his eyes bigger than they probably are. He's sporting your normal Lumbridge clothing, greenish cloak, shirt, brown pants, with a crossbow strapped to his back and a strange necklace around his neck.
Thank you. The cook yells, Yoshi, I'm not going to ask you again. Grab the mixing bowl and begin mixing the flour and eggs. If you're going to be in my kitchen, you're going to be more than just in the way. The celebration begins tomorrow. Time is of the essence.
That's like the first or second time you've asked.
In front of you is a table full of ingredients. There's eggs, flour, water, and salt. What do you do?
I just start mixing it, dude. I'll start picking it up for him.
All right, so Lug, you see Yoshi begin mixing this this water and flour and ingredients all together in this big mixing bowl while you're kneading dough. And you know there's something not quite right about what he's doing, and you're in your back of your mind, you're just like shaking your head already. And the cook turns around and sees what you're doing, Yoshim, and yells, "No, you need to use milk with the flour, not water. Oh, we're gonna be short ingredients now. You two, quickly get your butts to Farmer Fred's and get some flour and milk. I have plenty of eggs here. Lug, if you wouldn't mind, please go with him. Make sure he doesn't mess this up. Remember to be cautious. Take some protection with you."
I roll my eyes and sigh and say, Yoshi, do you ever not listen?
I do my best.
I stand up from the table, throw my hood up, and drag Yoshi by the arm.
Look, come on.
As you leave the kitchen and the castle, in the courtyard, you see that the first guests for the week are arriving. As expected, King Roald of Varrock has sent someone in his stead to pick out and save the best seat and place to camp for him when he arrives. A knight clad in decorative armor is resting on a stool, while two tired-looking halflings begin to polish and clean his armor. Hans, the castle historian and groundskeeper, can be seen talking to the knight. Corey, if you wouldn't mind describing what the two of them see.
Yeah, the two of them see a little halfling female who is wearing kind of plain white and cream colored robes, along with a long dark blue kind of robe overcoat type thing with a hood on the back. And I have a mess of super tight curly brown hair that is kind of matted up and mostly hidden by a similarly dark blue knit hat, which is currently kind of disguising or further hiding my disproportionately long ears. I'm wearing a pair of earrings that are shiny and have sort of a hexagonal shape to them. And I have just the tip of a wand poking out of one of my inner pockets, which are, it kind of looks as though my coat is overstuffed with things being hidden on the inside.
Awesome. And Moose.
Then next to her, you see Fubar. He's kind of the oppositely dressed than his sister. Darker clothes, leather, green robe with a hood over it. A little taller than her, not very much more. Brown eyes, black, messed up hair. Don't really care what his hair looks like. Just short, keeping inside the robe. He's got an array of daggers on a belt, and he's constantly looking around and always weary, almost scared all the time, and just has his adventure pack and just yeah.
So you guys leave the castle. You see these two gnomes polishing this armor and helping this knight rest, handing him water. And Lug, you see your father discussing something with this knight. Do you guys head over there, or do you continue on your way?
I look at Yoshi and go, oh, there's my dad, dude. Let's go talk to him. So I walk over. I said, hey, Dad, what you got going on over here?
Oh, I'm just greeting our first guests. We have Sir Pryson here. He's come to stake out area for King Roald, of course. I was just discussing what his expectations were. Where are you guys off to?
Well, Lug messed up the bread again, so we have to go get more ingredients.
Yeah, he did.
I'm Lug. I meant Yoshi messed up
Yeah,
the bread
Lug
again.
screwed it all up.
So we need to go get more ingredients.
Boys, okay. Calm down. Sir Pryson speaks up. He goes, well, if you do not mind if my squires assist you in this, I prefer they scout the land around here and report back in case they see anything we should worry about bringing the king here, if that is okay with the three of you. And he looks at Hans, Lug, and Yoshi.
Yeah, they look like they could use a hand buying flour.
Yeah. Yep.
It could be
Streets are
heavy.
dangerous. Apparently,
How'd you-
they're really dangerous.
How'd you know we needed to get flour?
You work at a bakery, you're baking bread. I apologize for being presumptuous.
I go, don't apologize to him. Come with
Nice.
us.
The knight puts his hands on each of your shoulders and says, "All right, you two, you're going to go with them. Stay out of the way. Do not disrespect the name of King Roald. You will report back with anything inconspicuous or dangerous out there. Is that understood?"
Yes, sir.
Excellent. When you get back, we'll set up camp. You guys continue out of the castle grounds, north along the road, towards Farmer Fred's.
Do these guys seem familiar to me?
Make a intelligence check for me.
It is a 7.
Something about them looks familiar. You can't put your finger on it, but maybe it's just the fact that you're looking at these two and they look almost identical, one being male and one being female, but maybe that's just it. It's so interesting that these two look so similar.
Okay.
So you guys head north of town towards Farmer Fred's, and we move a bit farther west along the road. Here is a caravan from Falador, making their way east to Lumbridge for the event. They have just left a night's stay in Draenor Village. There's a decent mix of people in the caravan, but the majority seems to consist of mostly men and dwarves from the Falador area. A flaming red mohawk can be seen among a group of dwarves chatting as they walk. The mohawk individual glances behind him, taking note of his surroundings and those traveling with him. By chance, he catches the eye of an elven woman towards the back. Harley, if you would describe what he sees.
Yes. Solana is an elf. Very obvious from her height and slender build. She has indigo blue hair and is very clearly comes from a woodland or forest area because all of her clothing is made from like natural like linens and things from the forest. She has really dirty boots, like she's obviously been out wandering around. And then everything about her looks kind of green and brown and normal for like a wooded area, except for her blue hair. And then across her forehead, she has a blue crystalline diadem that's like tattooed. So it looks like it's either painted or tattooed on. And it matches the quarterstaff that she carries. And she's not currently carrying it. It's on her back, wrapped in an ivy sheath, like a homemade holster that's on her back.
Awesome. And then you notice this dwarf look back and meet eyes with you. Peach, if you want to describe what she sees.
Yeah, a dwarf that's a little taller than normal. He's 4'8". And as you said, like stop sign red hair and beard. With a big he carries a big warhammer on his back, and has your like kind of standard dwarf armor, like chainmail with leather over top of it. Nothing super flashy. And a necklace with a phoenix emblem on it.
It was a brief glance, but both individuals noted seeing each other, and oddly enough, had a weird feeling of deja vu for just a moment, as if your eyes had met before at some point in your lives. However, you both continue up the road and notice you are beginning to walk among pastures and fields of crop. As the group from Lumbridge and this group from Draenor are making their way towards these pastures, each group hear a commotion up ahead. The group from Lumbridge, the four of you, what do you do when you hear this shouting and commotion going on?
I go, like, if I hear shouting and commotion, does it sound like someone saying something to somebody or fighting?
Make your perception check.
That is an 11.
It's shouting. You can't tell if it's direction, if it's pain. You can't really make out, but it is an aggressive shouting, and it sounds like multiple voices.
You guys hear that?
Yeah, it sounds like arguing or something.
We better get up there.
I mean, what does that have to do with us?
Yeah, what does that have to do with us?
Isn't that the way we have to go?
I mean, we just trying to get the supplies for the bread, right?
But what if somebody's in trouble?
I agree
Not
with
like
Yoshi.
our problem.
It is our problem.
It's our problem. And I go,
I follow Yoshi.
I guess I look over at. I'm like, I guess we gotta follow, right?
I guess. Yeah.
We're supposed to protect them, I guess.
Yeah, they don't seem very capable.
I hear that and look back, and I say, the last thing we need is your protection. And I cast Thaumaturgy.
So, what do you do with thaumaturgy?
I change my appearance as I'm saying this and say, we don't need your protection.
Okay.
Can we both look at him and be like, was that supposed to like scare us or something? Or what was that? Like, is that what you're gonna go up there and do? Or like what?
That
What's the
didn't do
plan here?
anything for me.
Yeah, I don't know about you. That didn't really. I mean, the horse we came in on was kind of scary than that, to be honest, man.
And your dad back there, he's the one that told us to come, so you can't be. I mean, it seems to me like
Yeah, you kind of probably need us, so.
you probably kind of
probably.
need us. Yep.
They kind of shout this after you as you continue to walk, and you're just kind of like grinding your teeth. You guys continue towards the commotion at a little quicker pace. The caravan side, most of the people in the caravan pick up on these shouts going on up ahead, and everybody seems to kind of slow down. Nobody is in any rush to go towards this shouting. They don't want to be the first ones there. So, Solana and Bundock, what will you two do?
I guess, can I do a perception check to see what I'm like, if I hone in on the shouting?
Yes, go ahead and make a perception check.
A 14.
14. These are aggressive shouts coming from multiple voices. You pick up on a human yelling help, and you pick up on snarling creatures.
Oh, someone's calling for help. Let's go. Anybody want to come with? And I'm gonna, start heading that way.
The caravan around you stops. Everybody just kind of like looks at each other, like as you continue on up the path. Solana, what do you do?
I follow because I'm very interested in getting a closer look at this necklace. So I'm like following, but not necessarily because I'm interested in figuring out what's going on.
As each group approaches the shouting, you see that there is a farmer cornered by several goblins. And they are closing in on him. You see a couple of goblins in one of the cow pasture beginning to circle one of the smaller cows as well. What do you guys do?
Goblins, hey? I hate these little things. I'm just gonna go
go,
charge
Lug,
in.
it's been a minute.
I respond to Yoshi and say, yes, it has. And I stick my hand out.
And I stick mine out, and then we go.
All right. With that, let us roll initiative. Okay. You guys begin to rush in. What are your initiatives, starting with Fubar?
17.
Okay. Fazora?
13.
Solana?
11.
Bundock?
3.
3?
Yeah.
God. Yeah, the
Yoshi.
numbers up, Peach.
Yoshim?
15.
And Lug?
11.
Okay. The goblins are up first. there's one in the cow pasture, and they see this group rushing in to help. And the one stands up on a fence and pulls back this little spindly bow and fires it at you, Yoshim, who is up front. A 17 to hit.
Yes, it hits.
You take 5 points of piercing damage as this wooden arrow strikes your side, and you grimace. Then we have this goblin is going to turn around, this one here, and fire at Bundock, who is rushing towards him. An 18 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Oh yeah.
7 points of piercing damage.
Holy crap! Shot me right next to my heart.
Yeesh.
As it impacts your armor on the front and pierces in. Fubar, it is your turn.
I'm gonna walk up and get and this is the one right here on the fence, correct? There's one up
The
top.
one to your right would be the one on the fence that shot it.
Okay, I want to walk up to Lug and like kind of hide behind him and whip a dagger at this one.
Right.
10?
A 10 does not quite hit.
Damn.
As you peek out and throw this dagger, it clanks onto the ground in front of them. And you hear it.
And then I just use the rest of my movement to hide back behind him.
Okay.
He's kind of my meat shield.
This goblin is going to continue to menace the farmer inside of the little gated pen there. Yoshi.
I get hit with that arrow. I was like, oh, I go, that's smart. And then I just take a shot at that one with my crossbow.
Okay.
That's smart.
7. That hits.
7. It jumps down off of the fence as you shoot, and the arrow goes overhead, missing.
And I'm going to hide behind the third. I'm going to hide behind Lug and Moose.
You took my idea, dude.
Fazora, it is your turn.
You got this, Lug.
Okay, question. Okay, so just like point blank period. I want to cast mage armor on somebody who isn't wearing armor, but I personally, Corey doesn't know who does not have armor.
Correct. Anybody that doesn't have armor, we should say. I believe everyone has leather or
I think I have leather.
some form
Mine says
of
light.
armor.
What does that mean?
It would be like leather, light leather.
Okay.
Hide,
Yeah,
things
definitely
like
have that. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm gonna look around and I'm gonna do like a little spin in a circle and then shrug and then I'm gonna touch my nose and I'm gonna cast mage armor on myself.
Hell yeah.
And I'm gonna get in line. I'm gonna be last in line.
so you see this taller human in robes and this little hooded gnome crouching behind him, and then a halfling crouching behind him, and then a gnome, and another halfling, all kind of trying to get lower and lower as they go. That's funny.
I give him a thumbs up and I go, capable. This is good.
You got
Lug, it is
this.
your turn.
I turn behind them and yell, Yoshi. I say, I guess I got to show them how it's done, and they thought we needed protection. And I cast Guiding Bolt at that one.
Okay.
13.
13 hits.
Awesome. And I do 14 radiant damage.
What does this bolt look like?
So I hold up the pennant that I described earlier in the introductions, and it starts to crackle, and you hear lightning, and almost like the solar winds of the sun come to the middle of it and burst out toward him.
Right. There's this divine energy that coalesces into this pendant, and this bolt of energy shoots out towards this goblin, and you see it blown off of its feet and lay motionless. He's gone.
Oh,
I whisper to Yoshi. I go, "Who is this guy?"
I go, that's my brother.
He should have did that from the beginning. That'll work.
I hear this and crack a half smile.
Do you use any movement?
I do not. I still
Hell
stay
yeah.
guarding the threat behind
Okay.
me.
Hell yeah.
All right. Solana, you see this flash of energy further along the path as one of these goblins in the pasture get blown off of their feet and lay motionless, and you know there's help on the other side of this road. What do you do?
How far away am I from my red mohawked friend and the goblin that shot was an arrow, right?
Yes, so you're between 5 and 10 feet away from Bundock, and then 20 feet or so from that goblin that shot at him.
Okay, so I move up a little bit closer to Bundock, even though I don't know his name yet, and look at the goblin that hit him, and I cast Entangle.
I need to succeed on a strength save.
Yes. So these, in like a 20-foot area around the goblin, these like plants come up out of the ground and try to restrain them.
Okay, these plants spring up from the ground and lash themselves around its waist and its arms. It rolled a 9 to succeed, which is not enough, and it's just straining against these plants, unable to move. He's currently grappled. Okay.
I don't move any further, but I grab my quarterstaff off of my back.
Okay. This goblin is going to stand and continue to protect this gate. Bundock, you see this goblin that fired an arrow straight at you be entangled in all these plants suddenly right in front of you.
Mm-hmm. I grab my phoenix necklace, say to my ancestors, protect me, and it like glows red, and I go in my rage mode, and I grab my warhammer, and I'm gonna yell at this goblin. That's the last arrow you ever fling at anybody, as I try to crush him with my warhammer.
Okay,
Insert
you
him
do get
crush.
advantage as he is restrained and cannot attempt to block or dodge this attack.
All right.
So
All right. So with advantage, I got a 22
Oh shit.
definitely hits.
for 8 damage.
The
Just barely.
goblin is restrained, unable to move, and his eyes get wide as you loom over and overhand swing this warhammer down straight into its chest where it hit you, and your hammer goes straight through it. You punch a hole through its torso as it collapses and the spell on it fades.
Shoot at me, will you?
He's dead.
Okay, and then I'm gonna I'll start making my way towards the one guarding the gate.
Okay, and for future reference, your rage is a bonus action to
Okay.
rage.
How long does it last?
Your rage lasts for a minute as long as you either are attacked or attacking something.
Gotcha.
All right. Fubar, you are currently crouched behind Lug. You look to your left and you see this entangled goblin shrieking as this huge dwarf comes overhead swinging, puncturing a bloody hole through it. What do you do?
I guess I'm looking over that way, and I see this happen, and I just look back at Foz and I go, I think he's got that handled. Why are we here again?
I say
This-
for some flour
We're here for the flour?
or milk,
All right.
actually.
Oh, okay,
It's-
that makes sense. Cow's milk. And I just whip my... How many do I got left? I got 2 more after this one, so I throw another dagger. And I had 23.
23 hits. Are you throwing it at the one in the pen?
Yeah, the one right here in the pen. Yeah, basically the one in front of us.
Okay. You poke out and you throw this dagger in between the gap in the fence. There's a goblin standing there that was menacing a cow, trying to circle it and hurt it. And it's seen its buddy get blown off its feet and not move, and it's frozen in fear, going, "Heh, heh, heh." This dagger strikes it straight in the Adam's apple. Its hands go to its throat, falls to its knees, and falls over with the dagger sticking out of its throat.
That's my brother.
Any bonus or movement?
Just get back in line, basically. Just in
I'm
case there's
sorry.
something out in the woods or something, or hiding behind a cow, I'm getting back behind the cover. AKA love.
Right. The goblins that were approaching this farmer, you see duck and hide behind the stone wall, as they are now terrified of what is going on with their kin outside this enclosure. You hear the farmer, help, help, somebody help me, please.
I go, Farmer Fred, I got you. I run out and shoot an arrow. Is it what, 60 feet for a crossbow? 16.
16 hit.
7 damage.
7. This goblin is standing slack-jawed with his arms down as it just watched one of its own kind get dismembered by a warhammer right in front of it, and an arrow straight through the side of its head, sticking out at each temple. It just falls sideways with the impact of the arrow taken out. He is no more.
I pull my crossbow up and I blow on. I go, and that ends my turn.
The two goblins inside the enclosure, you see them scramble. We gotta get out of here! And they begin to climb this fence and jump down onto the other side. Fazora, it is your turn.
At this point, I can't see him, can I?
Nope, cannot. You see two of them like jump over this fence and fall on the other side out of view.
That's right. You better run. I don't do anything.
Okay. Lug?
Yeah, I can't see him either, so I say, make sure you tell all of your kin the day you rued Lug River Song. Whether I said that right or not. You get it.
Ditto.
Any movement?
No.
Okay. Is Solana or Bundock, are you guys going to try to stop these goblins or let them go?
I mean, I'm a little irritated, so I'm definitely gonna, if I can catch one of them, I'm going for it.
Okay, Solana, you're up first.
How far from me are they now?
About 20 feet and leaving.
I can see that Mohawk is really upset about being hit. So before they get too far away, I will cast Druidcraft to make the leaves on that tree next to him come off and like circle them so they can't see where they're going.
Okay.
Sick.
What does this spell
Sick.
look like? Are you holding up like your staff? How are you casting this spell?
Oh yeah, just like holding it kind of in both hands in front of me and like whispering to ask the leaves if they will do what I've asked them to do, basically. But nobody can hear me do that.
Okay, you see these
like that.
leaves shake off this tree and begin falling on top of these goblins, almost erasing them from view for a moment. Bundock, it is your turn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be charging at them with. Oh, I don't get advantage. They're not. Or do I get advantage with the leaves? Because they can't like see now.
I wouldn't say advantage. They're just slowed down a little bit.
Okay. Well, the one closest to me anyways. Same time, I'm gonna try to just club them in the back of the head with my hammer.
Okay.
A 17
Yeah, 17 hits.
for 14 damage.
Definitely.
I think his head is gone.
Yes, you take this large warhammer and you're chasing him. Your legs are longer than this short little goblin, and he's running, and he kind of like looks over his shoulder and does a double take as you swing this huge warhammer into his head, and his whole skull just crushes and crumples as he's blown off of his feet. The other goblin ahead of you begins to sprint as fast as he can into the forest away from you.
I kind of chuckle and that's right. You run away.
Hubar?
I want to use my movement to go pick up my daggers I threw and check for this supposed 1 to 3 gold in these bodies.
All right, make an investigation.
I heard Lug say there might be gold in here, and I want some gold. My bad.
Luck has no
21.
experience with goblins.
21. You definitely find your dagger
Hell yeah.
in the grass walking over there, and then you begin to pat down these goblins. You find 1 gold piece.
Oh yeah.
You find a set of dice made out of wood or bone. You're not really sure. They're very old and grubby looking.
You said dice?
Dice, a set of dice.
Ooh.
And you also find 2 eggs, like chicken eggs, but they're like solid and discolored.
I'm good on that. That's staying.
And that is all you find.
Okay, can I still pull the one, and then I want to pull the dagger out of the other one I threw, or did I get both those back?
We can just say you got both your daggers back,
Hell yeah.
and that's all you found on the pair of them. They do wear like tatty leather and hide armor. They have these simple little wooden bows with stone-tipped arrows, and they're just kind of wearing general woodland garb for goblins.
I crawled back under the fence and walk back over to everybody, and that's my turn.
We will say that this goblin is able to escape from you.
Here you go.
His speed is actually faster than Bundok's, so he's gonna outrun him. And you guys are now out of combat. So, Solana and Bundok, the last ones in combat. What do you guys do? The caravan kind of sees that things have settled down, and they begin making their way along the path again towards you. Now that battle has finished, it's kind of a gruesome sight here. But goblins are generally pretty common in this area. A lot of people need to fight them off or defend against them. And these squabbles happen occasionally. So it's not uncommon to see something like this happen, but it's still pretty gruesome to see arrows and body parts blown off and things like that. So
I'm gonna walk up to the elf, and as I'm walking up, I'm gonna pull the arrow out of my chest, and I'm gonna say, thank you very much for helping slow them down, so I could repay them in kind for shooting at me. So my name is Bundok, by the way.
And I stick my hand out to shake Bundok's hand, and I say, Solana. And I like am looking at the injury. I'm like trying to figure out how bad he's injured.
So how many hit points do you have left, Bundok?
That took half.
Okay, so yeah, he's hurting. It didn't do like any internal critical fatal damage to him, but he does have this little trickle of blood coming from the wound. It's already beginning to coagulate and attempt to scab over, but it hurts. It doesn't look great.
And I ask him, are you familiar with this town where we could find someone to help you? Because I've never been here before.
Yeah, as we get closer to the town, there should be a shop or somewhere where I can get a small health pot or something. It's not the end of the world. It'll be a cold day in hell before I let a little goblin end my life.
It's about this time that the group of you begin making your way up the path and see this conversation going on, and a very frightened but relieved farmer inside of his gate, just kind of collecting himself.
Farmer Fred, are you okay?
Yeah, I tell you what, them dang goblins, they've been coming after my cows a lot lately. They must be getting hungry out there. Thank you so much for your help, Lug.
No problem, Farmer Fred.
Yoshim, uh, nice shot. Um, please stay away from my chicken eggs.
Come on. You know me.
Come on, man.
You too. Halflings. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All in a day's work.
Just need to catch my breath. I thought they had me there. And you see he's holding this like really extra long like rake that he was kind of trying to hold him off with. And he's leaning on that pretty heavily, trying to catch his breath. Thank God you came when you did. Lug Yoshi, what can I do for you?
Well, Yoshi messed up the bread recipe, so we need more milk.
Say no more. I assume flour too then.
Yeah, probably to be safe.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. One moment. And he goes inside. Solana and Bundock, you see this small group. There's a human surrounded by three shorter individuals talking with this farmer that had this encounter. Do you guys do anything?
Well, may I do like a would it be like a history check or what to see if I recognize them?
Yeah, go ahead and make a history check.
History check. All right. Oh, a big 11.
The two halflings look familiar. You can't quite place where, but you've seen these look-alike individuals before. You've traveled to some of the bigger cities, seen a lot of people. You're unsure. The other two, no idea. You haven't seen this human or this gnome in your past.
Oh, yeah. I guess I'm gonna approach just because they seem familiar to me, though I don't know why.
Hey, Red, good stuff out there.
You two recognize him. He has come to Varrock before, and during your squire duties, it's hard not to remember this flaming red hair, mohawk haired individual. Don't know his name, but you've seen him before and you recognize him.
Yeah, I'll just I'll approach immediately.
Who could forget hair like that?
Yeah. I just introduce myself. I say, "Hey, I'm Fozzie. Nice to meet you. Good job."
Uvar.
Nice to meet you too as well. I'm Bundock. What brings you to town?
We were instructed, I guess, by Tall Guy's dad, who didn't think he was capable, and he seemed plenty capable to me. But
Yeah, I don't know what he was worried about.
I'm not sure what that was, but we're here to help.
It's our duty to the kingdom.
Yep. We're like knights, basically.
Oh, all right.
Pretty much a big deal.
When
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
say we're basically knights, that's when it clicks in your head. These are squires for one of the knights of Varrock, and you remember it when you visited the castle for your dad and whatnot.
Okay. Oh, all right, all right. Which knight did you travel with?
The name ring a bell at all? Surprising? Bondoc?
I think so. Yeah. For King Rorald, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know the knights per se. You may have been introduced in passing, but you've never had conversation with them.
Right.
You were there for business with the
Yes.
the king.
Right.
And at this, a blue-haired elven woman approaches the group, and you see the caravan kind of making their way up the path behind her. And it's about this time that the farmer comes back out of his residence here, and he has a tin container of some kind of liquid, you assume to be milk. It is capped, and he holds a ceramic pot that is full of a white powdery substance, you assume to be flour. And he goes to hand these to you, and at first he's doing the ceramic to Yoshi and the tin
I'm reaching out. I'm
to
reaching
Lug,
out for
but
it.
he kind of recoils, switches, and hands you the capped tin one, Yoshi, and Lug, you get the more delicate ceramic pot.
Fred.
Just precautionary, that's all.
I
Won't be
get
no
it.
offense. Oh, uh, nice to meet you, dwarven fellow. I appreciate your help.
Oh, no problem at all. Maybe maybe make an example of these dead ones and put them on a spike. Maybe it'll deter goblins from coming back.
Oh my, pretty barbaric for my liking, but perhaps you can talk with the city guard up there in Lumbridge and maybe along the riverbank or something. I don't want to see these things around my fields. They kind of creep me out when they're dead or alive.
Fair enough.
Um, Elf, I saw you with the mystic arts there. Um, do you happen to know any spells that help clean things up by chance?
Solana was over thanking the tree while you guys
Okay.
were having this conversation for participating in what we just did. So walks over and it completely ignores what the farmer says, but says, "Did you say that the goblins come from the river?"
Oh, well, not exactly from the river water itself, but the other
Right.
side of the river. Yes, they kind of stretch in. I have fields over there, but they're not as maintained, and I know they're kind of stealing here and there to survive. I plant extra kind of for them, but when it comes to my closer livestock, they must be wanting their protein. You know what I mean? So they kind of stir trouble and steal my cows, or try to anyway, when they come to this side of the river. Um, Thank you,
That's helpful. Thank
by
you.
the way. And this like kind of structure around him is waist high to him, Lug, and Solana, but like the shorter people can't really see over it. So he's just kind of talking over the wall to you.
Thank you. I don't have a cleanup spell. The best I could do is burn them.
Oh, that's not necessary. I was just hoping maybe I've seen some individuals, they call it prestidigitation or prestidigitation. I don't know what the fancy mumbo jumbo is, but my chicken coop could really use a little wave of the hand if anybody knows how to do that. No, none of you. All right. All right. No, anyway, I'll make sure that they are well aware of what you did for me here today, and I appreciate your help. Enjoy this week's events, I suppose. Let me know, Lug, Yoshi, if the cook requests any more ingredients. I'll get more in stock, and I'll have my morning eggs delivered per usual.
Cool. You want me to deliver
Sounds-
them?
No, I need to stretch my legs. I like to deliver the eggs myself. I got a whole little routine. I go through my sheep's pasture here and cut across them and say good morning. And there's a couple of rams in there that I like to pat on the head. Just say good morning to my livestock before the day begins.
I lean over to Yoshi and say, "Why is he so weird about you getting his eggs?"
I think he thinks I'll break them.
And these multiple images throughout your lives of Yoshi taking eggs and throwing them at people and kind of crushing them on accident in the kitchen, and just this whole lifetime of oopsies from Yoshi.
Nothing comes to mind.
I can't think of
I
why. he
can't think
wouldn't
of
let me.
anything.
Okay. Well, have a great day now. I'll send a letter. Actually, one moment, and he goes inside and he begins to write a note. After a few minutes, he comes back out with a rolled up note that is like folded and creased, and he hands it to you, Luck. He goes, "You could get that to Sigmund. That would be great."
I grab the note and put it in my pocket, as I don't want to be nosy in front of him, but I will be looking at it to read it later.
Okay. Y'all have a great day, and I gotta go mill some more flour up at the windmill there. So appreciate your help, and we'll talk at you later. And the caravan is now making its way past you guys towards Lumbridge.
I turn
So-
around. I go, "All you going to Lumbridge?"
Yeah, we're coming for the events for sure. And you hear one of the dwarfs say, "Well, of course we were invited. I can't wait to go to that Sheared Rams Tavern. I hear good things about this little tavern."
Oh, it's great.
Right. So you guys make your way back towards Lumbridge. Intermingled with the caravan, maybe at the back. Are you guys discussing anything with each other as you make your way?
I notice that Fubar has a chest injury, and I look to him and say, "You know I can heal that, right?"
I don't have a chest
Oh,
injury.
not Fubar, sorry. I meant Bundock.
Wow.
No, I didn't know that.
I mean, would you care for me to do it, or are you gonna go see the local doctor?
I mean, if you're willing to heal me, by all means.
All right. I rub my hands together. They start to glow, and then I touch his wound and cast Cure Wounds
Did you just Mr. Miyagi him?
for 12. Yes. I waxed on and waxed off.
Okay.
As we're walking, there's
Um,
just blood pouring out of my side.
Yeah, you notice the whole wet side of your best friend and almost brother Yoshi.
I look at Yoshi and say, "Yoshi, you know that builds character."
I just shake
Oh,
my
no.
head. I just shake my head.
Let me heal this complete stranger.
Bundock, your wound heals as new skin heals over. The front of you still has a little tear in your tunic and a blood stain, but the wound itself feels much, much better.
Thank you kindly, sir. I owe you a drink for that one.
Duly noted.
Hey, Solana, what are you doing
Hmm.
as you approach this little town along this riverbank and the large castle ahead of you?
Since we've been as a whole group, has Yoshi mentioned out loud where they're taking the flour and the milk? I can't remember.
No. You've seen the farmer hand him
Hmm.
these two things, but you don't know what they are, why they have them.
Didn't he say something about
Okay.
Sigmund though?
The note, yes, he wants the
Oh.
note given to Sigmund.
But I wouldn't know who that is. Okay,
Right.
I'm just following the group. And so basically, what I'm getting at is that eventually they're going to go back where they started, right? So
Correct.
at some point, I would like to say to Yoshi something like, "Do you live here in Lumbridge?
I turn around. I go, "Why, yes, I do."
Can you tell me about this festival? This is my first time here."
Hey DM, can you help me out?
So Yoshi goes into this long thing about how on every fifth birthday for the Duke and a lot of prominent members in the region, the King's birthdays and the Knights of Falador's birthdays, kind of prominent members, the councils kind of get together and discuss potential issues throughout the realm. They kind of try to be on the same page on how to go about things, how trade works, how any disputes can be settled, if there's any major threats, things like that. And it's kind of masked by this unity celebration that comes together from across the whole realm. So there's strong politics that happen here, but at the same time, it's kind of a celebration for handfuls of common folk that decide to travel for the festivities. And it's a week long of partying and eating and intermingling and getting to know each other.
Thank you, Yoshi.
No problem.
Do you know how or if somebody came to participate or kind of be heard by this audience of political figures, do you know how you would get your name on that list?
So Yoshi goes into this
Yep.
explanation of how he's never been like a part of that. He wouldn't really have any idea. He knows these meetings are held, but it would be definitely somebody higher than a common person of the castle to discuss that with. And he kind of mentions Sigmund, which is kind of the hand of the Duke, is generally the organizer for things like that.
Thank you, Yoshi. That's very helpful.
Glad I could help.
Okay. It's about this time you guys make it back to the courtyard of the castle. Right. The two of you are in the lead, and you begin to make your way towards the castle to get the cook his ingredients when somebody you both recognize, Lug and Yoshi, as Sigmund, who's like the top advisor, the right-hand man of Duke Horatio, has come out onto the front steps. And he begins to address what you recognize now as a sizable crowd that is beginning to form on the castle grounds as the caravan has arrived.
While you're doing that, DM, did Bundock and we both came on the caravan, right?
Correct.
Did we leave anything on the caravan?
So there were like some wagons that were kind of pulled, but everybody, it's a walking caravan, so there's not
Okay.
like a big covered wagon that everybody's stuff is on. It's more just kind of
Okay.
everyone walking together for protection.
That's what I was
Awesome.
gonna ask.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. So you guys approach. Sigmund steps out, and you notice that there's several individuals that are filling into these castle courtyards. And Sigmund comes out and says, "Welcome, all of you, to Lumbridge Castle. Please enjoy our small town. Have a drink at the pub. Mass will be performed tonight in the church. Enjoy a walk through the forest or along the River Lum. If you are looking to have repairs done or items purchased, there are establishments that can provide those services. Space within the castle walls are available if you need to set up living quarters. I will be on the lower level of the castle should you have any questions. And just to give you a heads up, more guests will be arriving for the festivities throughout the week. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day and evening." And he kind of puts his hands inside of each sleeve and he nods to everybody. What do you guys do?
Can I look at him to see because I don't know what's going on, but can I see if he's under distress or anything?
Sigmund?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So your history with Sigmund is the two of you have never really gotten along, mostly because of the shenanigans you get up to. He's a very stern individual, not hateful, but no nonsense type of person. And he is very professional and does his job very well. He thinks outside the box for the Duke. Think of like a more professional Snape type individual from Harry Potter, just very collected and stern
Okay.
with what he says to those around him.
Go ahead, Jake.
Done.
So I'm gonna look at Lug and say, well, hey, he mentioned you. Say I owe you a drink. You guys drop off this milk and flour. You wanna go to the tavern?
I say sure. But before that happens, I nudge Yoshi and say, "Gosh, that guy is such a dink."
Hell yeah, what a square.
Yeah.
Lame-o.
What a.
You got it. You can do this.
Well, I was trying to find a RuneScape term, but there's too many. So
Yeah, that's the issue. There's just too many.
Hey,
That's
Foz,
why.
I don't know if there's a glossary of RuneScape insults. I'm sorry.
it's
Call
do
him
we
a
have to
noob.
get like rooms?
So basically, how it's structured, you and Fazora know you are with the knight, and you have traveled to help set up living quarters for the king, which include your own. And this consists of a large canvas tent that covers furniture and his bedding and a comfortable place to live. So basically, when you two enter the courtyard, you look over and you see Sir Pryzen waving you over, just kind of sternly with two fingers, like, get over here.
Okay,
Yep.
just walk on over.
Head on over that way.
The rest of you see the two halflings go together towards this knight. Bundock, you nudge Lug and mention going to get a drink. Lug, you still have that note. Did you happen to look at it on your way back, or are you just giving it to Sigmund, or what are you doing?
yeah, I wanted to read it on the way back.
All right, and it's for pun intended. It's chicken scratch basically. Things are spelled wrong, uneven letters, and it just says 6 people help me. Lug, Yoshi, know them. Killed goblins, saved farm. Thank you to them. And assigned Fred.
I hand it to Yoshi and say, "Could you translate this?"
Let me take a look.
You see the same thing.
Nope.
I shrug my shoulders and then go deliver the letter.
All right, you approach Sigmund. Lugroth. What you got for me here?
A letter from Farmer Fred's when we were picking up some ingredients. He had a pest problem, to say the least.
Let me see. Takes the note and he opens it. And he looks up and he sees the two halflings walking off to his side. He sees the two of you, and he sees Talana just kind of standing there looking around, kind of taking in the castle, and recognizes when he says it's Sigmund that, oh, that's who Yoshi said I should probably talk to. And then you see Bundox like patiently waiting for Lug to go get a drink. And he says, I will let the Duke know. Thank you. I believe the cook was looking for the two of you. And he folds the note up and puts it in his robes.
Okay. I just nod and walk back to Yoshi. I tell you, Bundock, I still want to take you up on that drink, but I gotta help the cook first.
All right, well, I'll go save you a seat over at the tavern.
The two of you head back in to deliver the ingredients, and you run into the cook. A couple of hours have passed between travel and the fight and discussion and things like that. The cook looks less agitated, a lot more comfortable. The long list of things he had to do that morning, a lot of them have been scratched off. And when he sees you, he goes, "Oh, yes, thank God. These are the ingredients for his cake. Thank you for being quick. Now I can spend the afternoon while everything else is baking to prepare that. Thank you, the two of you. Yes, even you, Yoshi.
Problem.
I appreciate the help." So he dismisses you for the evening, gives you a quick smile and a wink. Then you guys have the rest of the afternoon and evening to do what you please. What will you two do?
I say, Yoshi, that dude with the fiery mohawk is waiting for us to get a drink. You want to go?
Yeah, might as well. You know, I never caught their name. They just kind of walked with us.
Yeah, now that you talk about it, I don't really remember it either.
Yeah, let's go. I could get a little tipsy.
Uh, emphasis on little.
You guys leave the castle and notice, in surprisingly quick time, a large canvas tent has been constructed along the west side of the castle. Um, the halflings are putting the finishing ties to it to hold it up as the knight is inside setting things up for the king. The halflings are finished. You guys both stand to wipe your brow, and the knight says, "All right, I guess enjoy the evening until the king arrives tomorrow late morning. Be here, ready to help. Is that understood?"
Sounds good.
All right. Go have fun, you two. You earned it.
We'll try.
Hi.
All right.
I
And
think
you
they
guys
said
see
they were going to that bar. You want to go there, Foz?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I'm gonna look back at just like look at the surroundings. Is there anyone remaining around
you
from the
see
initial party?
Yoshi and Lug leaving the castle and kind of heading across the courtyard to head to the tavern. Sigmund is still kind of talking to random guests that approach him. Solana, where are you currently?
Can you remind me where they said there were going to be rooms for rent or like
He
lodging?
basically said the castle grounds around the outside of the castle, you could set up living quarters if you so
Okay.
choose. But as far as the castle offering places to stay, that is it. You may be able to find room around town, but that's kind of what the castle itself offered.
Okay, that's helpful. So I think I was just gonna like walk around and look for a place to set up, and then probably just like follow them to the tavern.
Okay. So are you like kind of just like following them without saying anything to them? Or are you like, hey, can I join you? Or are you just kind of like being that
Yeah,
like
I'm
person
creeping.
that follows everyone around?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even give her the opportunity to. I think that Fazora would come up to her personally and at least like, you know, take a handful of her robe and kind of drag her along.
Okay, so you see Solana kind of looking around the grounds, trying to find a good spot where she can set up her camping gear
Yep.
for the evening. And a halfling woman comes up and tugs on your cloak.
I'm kind of looking up at her. A 6-year-old would like look up at like the Disney castle, just like with that big O face, like, hey,
Okay.
Them big puppy eyes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and, would hi, um, what's your name? I'm Fozzie. What's your name?
So I kneel down and shake Fozzie's hand and say, "I'm Solana. Do you work for that king?"
Yeah, I'm a knight basically.
I'd like to
But
hear about what it's like to be a knight.
we'll tell you all about it. We're gonna go to the bar right now. You want to come with us?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
Solana is pleased to be invited, but was also fine to just follow.
Okay.
Solana doesn't experience like social embarrassment, so it's just like that's fine.
Perfect. You make your way to local tavern, the Sheared Ram.
I just want to note that on the way there, I'm looking over at my brother, and I'm doing like I'm putting my hand like way up there, and I'm going, tall. She's so tall. Do you see how tall she is? And I look,
I just put my hand in my head and shake it and just keep walking like this is gonna be a long, long night.
she's tall.
Yeah, your sister is 100% fangirling over this tall elven woman. So you guys head into a rather small tavern set on the river, the Sheared Ram, where a bartender is behind the bar cleaning glasses. There's a couple of people in this bar. A man sits in front of an ale. Um, looks like it was just poured, but he's just kind of staring at it. He hasn't taken a sip of it yet. You know you need to take some seats here before it fills up. You heard the dwarves excited to come here who are currently setting up living quarters. So if you guys want to take your seats within the tavern, what will you guys do?
So obviously we'd be sitting with Bundock, right?
Yeah, you come in,
Yeah.
you see Bundock sitting at. They're like large barrels are the tables that have this chunk of wood on top of them to keep it flat. And then there's like an assortment of stools in here. And Bundock is sitting at one of them.
I got this table over here in the corner.
Okay. So I think we'd walk in and sit with them.
And but a few minutes later, the other three walk in. You see the group that you had a run-in with earlier is currently gathered in the corner talking. The bartender shouts out, "I'm bartender Bradley. What can I get you?"
You all, can all of you even drink?
I'm 65, sir.
65, huh?
Yes, sir. You know, I never caught your name. What's your name, Big Red?
Bundock.
I don't know if you caught
And
mine,
yours?
but I'm Yoshi. You can call me Yoshi if you want.
Nice to
I'll drink
officially meet you.
anything.
I guess your finest ale, sir. One for each of my companions here.
Pardon me, dwarf, but all my ales are fine here. How about some options? I got the dwarven stout. I got the chef's delight. I've got some cider. I've got the generic ale. What can I get you?
Well, obviously I'll try your dwarven stout.
Excellent.
And whatever
Same.
else each
Same.
would like.
Yes, Yoshi, I got you.
Where I know the bartender's name,
Yes, bartender Bradley.
I go, Brad, go, he's just trying to show off.
What was that, Yoshi?
No, I said drinks are all around on him.
Oh,
Not
okay,
all around
excellent.
this table.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey,
I'm not that nice.
You beautiful blue-eyed woman, what can I get you?
I can only assume that he's talking to me.
Yeah,
so
who's he talking to?
It's like-
Oh, blue-haired woman, what can I get
I
you?
was like, I don't know what color.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Fozzie, what do you like to drink?
I like a cider, but I don't like I don't like the ones that are too sweet. I like them a little bit on the sour side, but that's usually how they are here. So yeah, that's usually what I get.
So I'll have whatever Fozzie's having. 2 ciders, please.
Excellent. And how about you, Doug?
I'll take NAL.
N-A-L. Right. Okay. Is that everybody? Do I have everybody?
Not me. I'm
Ah,
down here
yes,
with my
sorry.
hand up, like right here.
I didn't see you. I am so sorry. Small.
Don't let it
sir.
happen again.
Yeah, no, it won't. What can I get you?
Good
I
enough.
just want a light ale.
A light ale.
Yeah.
Excellent. Easy enough. Is he with you guys?
yes.
Is he like kind of puts his hand to the side of his mouth, old enough to drink?
I just pull a
Ooh.
dagger out of my
Ooh, I
cloak
approach.
and I put it up
Ooh.
and I said, I want a light ale.
You're gonna
I'm-
give my brother a light ale.
I just need to make sure so I don't get shut down. There are some events happening this week that
I
could
say-
bring me clientele. I'm so sorry.
For you two being knights, you sure don't act very knightly.
We're like knights.
Yeah.
So
And who asked you anyway?
yeah, also that.
I say, you remember
Yes,
what
I
happened?
am old enough.
Yeah.
You remember what happened to that goblin?
Okay, I understood. We don't need to resort to violence here. We're trying to have fun.
And then
Okay,
I
I
say, you
agree.
saw the 2 I took out, right?
Okay,
That was
okay.
even
Everybody, calm down. Calm down. I will get you your drinks. I will get everybody their drinks. Let's just calm down. Okay.
Thank you, Bradley.
I'm gonna
Young
get up
man.
with my ale and I'm gonna just start coke. I go, all right, everybody, calm down. Let's sit at the table.
All right.
I ain't
Within a
tipping
few
this guy.
minutes, he hands each of you your drinks. The
Are they all the
Dwarven
same
Stout.
drink?
No, they are all different. The Dwarven Stout's
Okay.
definitely darker and foamier. It's a little more hearty. Interestingly enough, when you take a sip, Bundock, this inspiration flashes in your head. And for a moment, you're thinking about your metalworking and crafting, the smithing of these hammers, and an idea pops into your head while you're drinking this beer. And when it's done, you lose it. That idea is just, oh God, what was I thinking? The conversation, it distracted you. But while you're drinking this, there seems to be some form of inspiration in your mind when it comes to your metalworking.
I need some more of this.
Do you order another one?
Oh yeah.
Each beer is a gold apiece.
All right. So
We're
all right,
really
I'm gonna give
rich.
Inflation.
I'll pay for the first round, and I'm gonna give him a tip. You know, I'll give him a gold coin as a tip, and then I'm gonna ask him for another one. So
Okay.
I'll give him 8.
When
And
he
that inspiration made you drink the first one quick because, oh my God, yes, awesome. This one you're taking your time with, and the whole time you're drinking it, that inspiration comes back. You're like, I need to try this when I'm metalworking.
when he pays the bartender, I wanna lean up and go, "Hey, what's that behind you? Like what's that big bottle at the top?
That is not a bottle you can afford,
Does he turn around?
sir. Yes, he does.
I steal his tip.
Make a sleight of hand check.
And this
11.
He rolled a 10. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
you
Wait,
swipe.
would I see this?
What's your passive perception?
My passive is 12.
I'm gonna say you've had 2 beers, so I'm gonna -2 off that, and you also have a 10. You do not notice it.
Well, I've only had
Oh, yeah.
one beer. I'm
Yeah.
working
I
on
just
the
go,
second
"Oh
one.
wow, that's really cool looking," and then I walk away with my light ale. Asshole asking me how old I am.
So how much was that tip? 1 gold?
Yeah,
It's mine
Okay.
now.
No, you now have 1 gold.
and I didn't
Hell
see
yeah.
it.
No,
No, you did not.
drunk bastard.
He's lucky I didn't see it.
You're not drunk. You're just really wrapped into these drinks and how it's making you feel. So is there anything you guys want to discuss?
I was gonna throw in a little note there. Like I was so impressed, Bundock
Undock?
slamming that, and I'm like, I gotta impress this guy. It's my hometown. So I put both my hands on it, and I try to chug it, dude. And I just start hacking.
Yeah, it's fuller bodied than you thought. You're trying to stand out, and it is tough going down. It starts spilling out the sides of your mouth and down the front of you. Interestingly enough, you do not have any of this like metalworking inspiration that the dwarf had achieved. But yeah, you kind of make yourself look silly. Does anyone call him out on it, or just let it go?
I mean, if I see him doing that, I was like, it's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. I'll probably get another one.
Say, Yoshi, you really need to pace yourself. We don't want a repeat of last weekend.
Oh, do tell.
If I don't remember, it didn't happen, Lug.
This is true, but unfortunately, I remember. He was dancing. They had a hometown band, and he took off his shirt and started dancing on the bar.
You guys look over at Bradley, and he's just nodding his head.
Memories.
Bradley, I apologize, sir, but that might happen again.
It's about this time. You say it might happen again, and the door opens, and a Lumbridge guard walks in, and he says, The 6 of you, you're together, right?
I say no, we just hang out.
Lug, I know you're part of it. Are these 4 with you and Yoshi?
I say it depends on if you're asking for a good reason or a bad reason.
The Duke is requesting your presence.
Then yes, we're together.
Please, follow me. Bring your drinks with you.
Oh, say less.
You gotta ask me.
You're probably thinking, can you guys bring those glasses back when you're done at least?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good luck.
I'll make sure they come back.
So you guys can all add a beer glass to your inventories.
Hell yeah.
And then whether or not you remember to give them back or not is a different thing.
At the end of the campaign.
Yeah. You follow this guard back to the castle. And he gets to the front steps and he says, he's all the way at the top. He wants a private discussion with you, if you would. And he gestures for you to go inside. Lug and Yoshi, you kind of lead them to the back southern staircase. It's a spiral staircase, and you know to the top is a 3rd floor. So you go up this winding staircase, and you see where the 2nd floor is, and you continue on to the top. Is there anything you guys want to do before you get up there?
Brush myself off, make sure that I'm looking proper.
Okay.
Check my breath.
I leave the. Did we all finish our drinks, or is mine still full? Because I'm gonna leave it on the table. If we're going to see the
Same.
Duke, I'm not bringing a beer with me.
Same.
Smart.
Okay. Yeah, it's up to you if you wanted to drink it
I
on
just-
the way. It would have
Nah,
been
I-
almost done because Bundock had already drank a full one.
Yeah, just leave it on the table.
Okay. So for those
Did-
that didn't take it, you can leave it behind.
We're walking, and I'm asking, has anyone met the Duke before?
Me and Lug have plenty of times.
I don't know. Would I?
No, you wouldn't have had any business in Lumbridge.
Okay.
And like, what should we expect? Is there anything we should know? I don't know if we have time to ask.
Do we know
this,
much
but-
about the Duke, or do we just know he's the Duke?
You know he is a very well-liked individual. He's very fair, very kind to the people within his town. Pretty much everything you'd want in a leader is this younger Duke of Lumbridge. Nothing that has ever like made you question his authority or leadership.
All right, I look at her and I go, he's a very generous, kind man. He's what you want in a ruler. He lets me stay here.
You guys make it to the top, and there's kind of a central area at the top, but Lug and Yoshi kind of steer you to the right, and you are up on the ramparts of the castle. And this is where the cannons are for defense. And standing between the 2 cannons is Duke Horatio. You see a average height man wearing pristine blue tunic and cloak with matching blue formal pants. He has brown hair and a brown goatee of medium length. He has friendly eyes and an even friendlier smile as you approach. And for those who have not been around him, you understand why very few people do not like this man. You realize you're at the top of the castle, looking over the ramparts. You look down upon the town. You see the swamplands and the forest to each side. It's a nice evening as the sun is getting lower in the sky with a gentle breeze. And the Duke looks up at the group of you and smiles. Hello to each of you. I am Duke Horatio. It is a true pleasure to meet the group of you. Word has gotten to me that the 6 of you had a big part in helping Fred deal with some goblins on his farm. I thank you for this. What are your names?
I guess I'll bow and it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. And Bundock Coalfinger is my name.
Ah, Coldfinger. Why do I know that name?
You probably have heard of my father, Vigor. He is one of the most renowned smiths in Keldegrim.
Hildegrim, yes, yes. I do not know your father, but I have definitely heard of him. Welcome, Bundak. I assume you are here in his stead?
Yes.
Perhaps we can discuss why he has sent you here in a matter of time. And you, miss, and he looks at you, Solana.
Me. I also look at Bondakin who bowed, and so I also kind of bow and say, I'm Solana Keetris from the west, from Isafdar.
Ah, the
And
Taranwin region. No?
yes,
Never been myself, but I hear it is beautiful.
Solana is thrilled to hear this. Is it is so beautiful. You must come see it. But maybe once things are better.
Perhaps. Not sure what you mean by that, but again, I assume you traveled all this way for a reason.
Yes, I traveled during the festival to seek audience with you and your political friends. I don't know what they call them. What do they call them?
The council, I guess.
The
Of,
council.
yes,
To
esteemed
seek
leaders of the
support.
region.
Yes,
I
to seek
see.
support.
To travel all this way, there must be some form of turmoil. Sorry to hear that. We shall discuss it. You
Thank
will
you.
sit in on our meeting. Now, the only two I don't know that are left are.
I step forward and I say, my name's Fubar, and this is my sister, Foz, and we're scryers for Sir Pyron.
Hi.
Hello. What can I do for the two of you here?
They just told us to come with them because we helped out earlier.
That's right.
See, you help Fred.
Fred the farmer.
Uh-huh.
Excellent. Well, let's get into it then. That is why I have called you all here. The pleasure of meeting you truly is all mine. It is not very often people would help such a lower folk. I'm kind of disappointed in how much of the caravan had just walked past, to be honest. With the events happening this week, you understand guard around the castle is, of course, doubled as more prominent guests arrive. I do not have a lot of guard to spare, and was hoping I could ask a favor from the group of you. I've already asked Sir Pryzen and your parents, Lug, if it is okay to ask this of you. And Solana, Bundak, if you would indulge me in aiding them, Father Eric has come to me asking if there's anybody that could look into a matter in the graveyard. He has mentioned some form of paranormal activity there. I don't know how much truth there is to it, but Father Eric wouldn't come directly to me unless he knew something was going on. It's nothing dangerous. Nothing dangerous. I can see the look on some of your faces. It seems he has felt a, kind of embarrassed to say it, an entity of some kind has been calling to him for help. I don't want guests visiting the graveyard to be scared off or worried about this all week. It could be somebody playing a prank that has traveled here. I don't know what is going on, but would the six of you mind looking into this for me?
Oh, sure, certainly.
If that's what he wishes.
Excellent. And the rest of you, you're good to go?
I look over at the cleric in the group. I don't say anything, but I just want to get I want to gauge their reaction before I get mine.
Lug looks at the Duke and respectfully says, I'm an adult. I don't need my parents' permission. But I will assist in finding this entity. And I make air quotes.
I am so sorry if that came off as offensive, Lug. I didn't mean to ask permission, just that to see if you could be spared from the other activities of this week is all. I know you and your family are very busy in assisting the castle stand out to those that are arriving. I did not mean it by permission. I'm very well aware that you are a grown man. You know Father Eric very well, and he would be very happy to have you helping him. And Solana of Isfadar, can I count you in?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. It could be nothing. Like I said, could be a prank. Doesn't sound dangerous. Just if you wouldn't mind looking into it for me, I would really appreciate it. And then we can continue on with the week and getting our groove on, as they would say. And he flashes this big smile. Thank you for listening to 99 Dnding. I hope you are enjoying the story so far. If you did enjoy, please like the video, comment your favorite part, and subscribe to see the next video on where our adventures are headed. Also, look for us on x.com at 99Dnding or on Instagram at 99Dnding. Until next time, may your dice always roll high and your XP never be wasted.